Welcome to the show. This is the Fearless Floyd Show, and I am your host, Fearless Floyd. and I wasn't even going to do a video today, but I ran across this article, opened it up, and read it. And hey, all you folks who want to move to Texas, if I got something to show you. So everybody thinks, Texas is just this free, red, conservative state, right? With all these little highly populated, liberal, Democratic run major cities like Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, Houston, etc., etc. So let me show you how far along we are with the New World Order because people are not paying attention. And I'm telling you, and I can't tell you enough, and I don't know why people aren't listening and paying attention. Maybe I'm being shadow banned. I have no clue. But this is where we are at today with this technology. And when I read this to you, don't be surprised. And you're going to hear more and more stories like this. And, it's going to be kept out of mainstream media because they don't want you to know about it. But this is what's coming, folks. And it's already here. It's going to spread like a malignant tumor all over the organs and body of the United States. This is what's up. And I'm not doing the article. I'm reading the text of the article. And let me get my happy ass out the way. And let me give you a black background. All right. This is by Eric Dexheimer. And I believe this is Houston Chronicle, which is totally left-wing, liberal, Democratic rag. But it is what it is. It's surprised they even reported this, but let's go through this. Let me clear my throat before I start reading. And forgive me, I was literally on the phone until 30 minutes ago since I woke up. Texas traffic stop reveals pitfalls of police for surveillance intel. I'm going to repeat that. Texas traffic stop reveals pitfalls of police surveillance intel. Bexar County Sheriff, Bexar County, for all those who are not familiar with Texas geography, that would be San Antonio. Bexar County Sheriff's case provides a rare inside look that illustrates everything critics say is wrong with the practice of stopping and searching motorists. And we'll go view the original when I get done reading this. So for now, I'm just going to read it. And I can make it a little bit bigger for everybody, for those that are impaired visually. It was a sunny mid-March morning in 2022, 3 years ago, folks, okay? Going on 4, because we're just right around the corner from March, right? It was a sunny mid-March morning in 2022 when Alex Schott headed home to Houston from Carrizo Springs near the Mexico border. He had just finished a training for his pipeline supply company and dropped a carpool colleague off at a local Holiday Inn where she stayed the previous night. He turned on his dash camera and started driving. About an hour into the trip, a Bexar County Sheriff's deputy parked on the east side of Interstate 35, flipped on his lights, and followed Schott's truck to the shoulder. He'd seen the pickup drift over the yellow line, he explained, a violation of state traffic laws. Driver Alex Schott steps out of his car at the request of a Bexar County Sheriff's deputy during a 2022 traffic stop. Court records. So this is Alex stepping out of his truck. What Schott, who has no criminal history, couldn't have known is that he had been tagged as a potential lawbreaker by a vast and mysterious surveillance system along South Texas region's roadways. A network of cameras scanning license plates of passing vehicles had crunched the data in real time and determined that the details of his trip, a quick excursion to the border with a woman dropped off at a hotel, suggested smuggling behavior. The information was relayed over an anonymous WhatsApp chat group to Bexar County deputies. Their role was to wait for Schott to drive by, then find a way to stop him and look inside his vehicle. When Deputy Joel Babb asked if he could search the truck, Schott declined, his legal right. So Babb summoned a drug dog, which happened to be waiting nearby. The dog, and I'm quoting, alerted, close quote, signaling he'd sniffed contraband, giving the police the legal right to search anyway. After more than an hour, nothing was found, although one deputy still reported seeing a, quote, very, very, very little amount, close quote, of drugs in the truck. Police promote interdiction, using traffic stops to investigate more serious crimes as a way to interrupt criminal activity rather than simply to respond to it. Over the past 100 years, Americans inconvenienced by searches have accepted the tactic as an acceptable cost of public safety, national security, and convenience, and disasters. Those are their three tools that they have in their tool pouch that they whip out and use on us. Yet statistically, interdiction teams have not been good at predicting who is committing a crime. Research has found most discretionary searches turn up nothing. Of those that do, the contraband found is often so inconsequential that charges are never filed. A Houston Chronicle analysis of traffic stop data for Texas law enforcement agencies shows the Bexar County Sheriff's Office self-reported finding contraband in 70% of total searches, a rate much higher than that of nearly every other large police, sheriff's, and constable's office in the state of Texas. Yet those hits are also resulted in arrest far less frequently than those in other jurisdictions. Bexar County's interdiction team also was so unsuccessful that Sheriff Javier Salazar joked about it. According to court documents, while the team made hundreds of stops, quoting, I would rib them about not being very effective at drug interdiction, not finding drugs very often, close quote, he recently testified. Relieved to be released with only a warning, drivers rarely complain. Schott, however, sued. Bexar County did not respond to interview requests, but in the past have declined to discuss the case, citing the ongoing litigation. In court filings, its lawyer have defended Schott's stop and searched as legal, and its deputy's behavior is largely appropriate. Babb testified that he acted according to his training. Videos from every party involved, as well as text and WhatsApp exchanges, emails, and internal reports have been entered into evidence in the case, which remains pending. Taken together, they provide a rare inside look that illustrates nearly everything critics say is wrong with the practice of stopping and searching motorists. Quoting Schott's attorney, Christy Hebert, Deputy Babb made up a violation, she said at a hearing at the San Antonio Federal Courthouse last month. Then, quote, the deputy found nothing in Alex's truck. That's because they usually find nothing, close quote. Schott was told he was stopped because he drifted outside his lane, but that was only the method police used to pull him over. Deputies acknowledged they were looking for Schott's pickup before they stopped him. Bexar County Sheriff's deputies acknowledged waiting for Schott's black pickup to drive by after receiving an intelligence report via an anonymous WhatsApp chat that flagged his travel pattern as suspicious. The thread was called Northwest Highway Group, they testified. It provided real-time alerts to police departments farther away from the border. The Bear deputies couldn't identify anyone in the group or where the information came from, other than that they understood it was generated by a team working out of a dedicated intelligence facility. That's an image, if you're looking at the screen, of a screenshot, I guess, of a WhatsApp. Quoting, their job is to sit in fusion centers and actually watch travel patterns on the highway. Being LPR, license plate reader, reads and whatever other cool stuff they have, I don't know what it is, close quote, Babb said in a deposition. Formed after 9/11 terrorist attacks, fusion centers are federally recognized, state-run intelligence gathering hubs where police from local, state, and federal organizations team up to gather and distribute intelligence. Texas boasts 8 of the secret facilities, more than any other state. In court filings, the Bexar County said Schott intelligence came from, quote, the Laredo Fusion Center, close quote, a location not on any official list. Much fusion work involves merging and analyzing information gathered from various sources that collect information about civilians, according to Sarah Brain, a Stanford University professor who has studied the centers. Many of their tools were developed for the military to conduct counterterrorism work, but have filtered down to law enforcement. One common and growing set of surveillance data is from automatic license plate readers, which identify vehicles that drive past. Pairing the readings with artificial intelligence to collect even more information about drivers was field tested by a coalition of Texas sheriffs. Police cars often carry license plate readers. Testimony in Schott's case revealed where other cameras are placed to help law enforcement create detailed maps of individual motorist behavior. Quoting, a lot of times at those mile markers, that's usually where LPRs are located, close quote, Babb said. He further stated, you know those boxes that are on the highway where you pass it, it shows the speed you're going. Those boxes also have license plate readers on them. So every time you pass one of those, your vehicle is also getting your picture taken and its license plate to show you're in that area, close quote. Do you want me to repeat that? You know those boxes that are on the highway where you pass it and it shows the speed you're going? Those boxes have license plate readers on them. So every time you pass one of those, your vehicle is also getting your picture taken, say cheese, and its license plate to show that you're in the area. The WhatsApp report on Schott included more than just his route. And I'm quoting, what it came down to was he left Houston with a female passenger, Babb said. He ended up going all the way to Carrizo Springs. What I was told was that he dropped a female off at a hotel, close quote. Asked how police knew that, Babb couldn't say. Quoting, Homeland Security, DEA, everybody's there, he said, and they have a lot bigger toys than the license plate reader. You want me to repeat that? How'd the police know that? Bob didn't know. But what did Babb say is Homeland Security, Drug Enforcement Agency, everybody's there. That would be the FBI, NSA, CIA. Everybody's there. And they have a lot bigger toys than the license plate readers, folks. So here's Schott again, stepping out of his car. Interdiction flips traditional police work on its head. Instead of seeking a suspect who committed a particular crime, stop and searches identify a suspect and then look for the broken law. To initiate the process, police require some legal reason to stop a vehicle. Transportation codes provide ample opportunity for so-called pretextual stops. The Texas version runs 3,000 pages. Have you read it? I have. Quoting, "The beautiful thing about Texas traffic code," Babb testified, "is there's thousands of things you can stop a vehicle for." Close quote. And that includes infractions like speeding, but also non-public safety violations, such as a dirty license plate, two tinted windows, and expired registration, among others. Driving outside the marked lane was a common choice for Bexar County's interdiction officers. In recent years, the two-member team accounted for nearly a third of all lane violation citations issued by the Sheriff's Department, Schott's attorneys calculated. Yet deputies have struggled to prove Schott actually broke the law they said he did. Records show Babb switched off his dash camera moments before Schott drove past. The only official record of the violation was his visual recollection. Babb turned his camera back on soon after the search. Records show a pattern for which he was later fired, and which the interdiction team apparently was known for within the agency. Quoting, "Bet your dash cam didn't catch it," close quote, a sergeant texted a team member. Quoting again, "Sounds right for the interdiction deputies," close quote. Schott, by comparison, had his own camera running when Babb pulled him over. His footage appears to show no obvious drifting, no rumble strip sounds are heard. No, not a police officer lying to get a conviction. That would never fucking happen in Texas, ever. Y'all are just so lily gold. Y'all law enforcement officers, y'all always tell the truth. An expert hired by Schott's legal team analyzed the recording as well as the site where the stop occurred and Babb's vantage. And folks, let me tell you, I did all this. I did everything he's going through. Okay? And that's why I'm being so disingenuous about the whole law enforcement being honest on the stand, because they lie their fucking asses off to get a conviction. Absolutely. And it's horrendous. They should end up getting the sentence, not the other way around. Quoting, "As Mr. Schott's truck approached Deputy Babb's position, Deputy Babb could not have seen if the left wheels of Mr. Schott's truck hit or minorly crossed the yellow line from his vantage point," close quote, he concluded. The interrogation. Police must clear several legal hurdles before searching a car. Schott's stop illustrates how easily interdiction teams can overcome them. Prolong a traffic stop past the time it takes to issue a citation or warning requires officers to establish reasonable, and I'm going to expound upon this, what it says in front of you, reasonable, articulable suspicion that a crime may have been committed. So when they say reasonable suspicion, reasonable, articulable suspicion that a crime may have been committed. So the factors must be specific, but the phrase still has plenty of wiggle room. Suspicious behavior cited by police in court cases has included signs such as looking at or away from an officer, inconsistent details in a story, a clean or dirty car, speeding or carefully driving the speed limit, appearing unusually anxious or unusually calm. Babb's first move was to direct Schott to sit in the Sheriff's Department vehicle while the warning was processed instead of remaining in his pickup. That allowed the deputy a chance to set up his body camera on the dash and grill him. A common shortcut to bypassing the legal test required to search a vehicle is to simply ask the driver for permission. Many searches occur after police simply ask permission. Bexar County Sheriff's Office so-called consent searches make up a majority of police intrusions, said Derek Epp, an associate professor at the University of Texas, Austin, who studies stop and search operations. Many people don't know they can refuse. Epp's work also has shown consent searches are inefficient. Quoting, the departments that are doing more are not finding more contraband or crime, he said. In counties such as Hidalgo and Starr dramatically increased the number of consent searches at the start of Texas border crackdown. For example, he found their hit rate, the times they found contraband as a percentage of the searches, plummeted. Evidence gathered for Schott's case appears to show the same pattern for Bexar County Sheriff's Office. Quoting, over the past 2 years, the percentage of Bexar County Sheriff's Office traffic stops that include searches has increased while the number of searches where contraband was discovered has decreased, close quote, his lawsuit complaint charged. Schott declined the search request. That meant Babb had to identify a legal reason to continue the operation. The deputy described it in his deposition. Schott seemed anxious. When Babb approached the truck, for example, he raised his hands above the wheel. Also, quoting, he was breathing hard. His chest was rising and falling, more so than the average person, close quote. And of course, there was a tip from the WhatsApp group. The Texas Commission on Law Enforcement, which licenses Texas police, doesn't require recruits to train on interdiction tactics, but there is a cottage industry of private training in which instructors combine their in-field experience with armchair psychology. Unlike some states, Texas does not require its state licensing agency to review and approve such programs. In depositions, Bexar County's interdiction team members cited several courses they had attended. Evading honesty. To develop real-time detection skills for verbal and nonverbal deception, for example, and vehicle selection. The latter is put on by a large company called Street Cop. In 2023, the New Jersey Comptroller's Office issued a critical report on the company's content after auditing a conference numerous New Jersey police agencies attended. A follow-up report this year found the state had spent $1 million on the company's training over 2 years. Quoting, instructors at the conference promoted the use of unconstitutional policing tactics for motor vehicle stops. Close quote, the report concluded. It cited instructors explaining how they had pulled over motorists for no legal reason, improperly prolonged traffic stops, and conducted apparently illegal searches. In response to the comptroller's findings, Street Cop founder Dennis Benigno described the instruction as, quote, standard fare, close quote, and said he stood by the training. The Canine unit, having identified the reasonable articulable suspicion that a crime may have occurred to prolong Schott stop, Babb's next step was to meet the legal threshold for searching the vehicle, the probable cause. To suspect a crime. With no obvious sign of illegal activity, the deputy summoned the drug dog. And let me tell you, there was a publication put out by one of OJ's defense team and one of Barry Scheck's, Peter Neufeld, called a Path Forward, Junk Science. It was about forensic sciences. I'm not going to elaborate. Canine handler Deputy Martin Molina said he was nearby and on his way. A second interdiction deputy drove 90 miles an hour to get to Schott's truck within minutes, according to court documents. Wow, 90 miles an hour. The dog, Max, circled Schott's truck, Molina said, alerting on the driver's side door. Canine signals the presence of drugs at the driver's side door. I guess this is a video clip of that. It's probably in the original. We'll go back to that. But had Max really smelled drugs? According to Bexar County's testimony, Max was extremely reliable, with police finding contraband 90% of the time he alerted on the vehicle. A subsequent internal investigation into Schott's stop, however, was less complimentary. Uh-oh. Let's see if he has 9 lives. Several positive alerts with no contraband found. All right. Internal affair. One possible reason. In his complaint, Schott alleged Max was trained to be rewarded simply for alerting on vehicles rather than when drugs were found. Quoting, Molina, unlike other canine officers, manipulated Max's reward structure so that Max would be cued on alert on cars regardless of whether drugs were present. Close quote. Molina has denied it. There's also reason to question Max's stats. Even when documents showed deputies had uncovered no contraband in a search after the dog alerted, Molina often wrote in his canine reports that he had found trace amounts of drugs, according to internal records entered into evidence in Schott's case. In other words, quoting, Molina's reports made it appear as if drugs were found nearly every time Max alerted, close quote, Schott's complaint alleges. Molina also reported seeing specks of marijuana leaves in Schott's truck, although he never mentioned anything during the search, according to his body camera footage. He never collected them or conducted any tests, he said in his deposition. According to his testimony and video timestamps, here is when Molina said he spotted very little small crumb specks of marijuana in Schott's vehicle. We'll go back and watch these if you want. In his deposition, Molina defended all his trace drug observations during searches as accurate. Max's alert qualified as probable cause, giving deputies legal permission to search Schott's vehicle. Based on Babb's reading of Schott's body language after hearing the news, they were optimistic. These three deputies rummaged through Schott's truck, moving his children's car seats, pushing aside diapers, opening his personal bags, pulling out the contents of the glove box and center console. Deputy Joe Girab, another interdiction team member, flagged, quote, suspicious, close quote, signs of drug couriering in the truck bed and engine compartment. But after more than 1 hour of being detained, let me rephrase that, being in custody because he was put in a patrol car, not free to leave. That is in custody, folks. So after more than an hour of being in custody, questioned and searched on the side of the interstate, Schott's truck was pronounced clean and he was released. Babb apologized for the inconvenience. After finding no contraband, the deputies acknowledged they seldom did. Bexar County later sent Schott a check for $7,268.46 to cover the damage to his truck during the search. Deputy data editor Caroline Gisolfi contributed to this reporting. So let's scroll back up and view the original. December 8th, 2025. There we go. Oh, I've got it. Yeah, that's why. Whew, there we go. Now, so the original. Nope, can't play that. Screenshot. Play that, can't we? Let's play it. Hey, where'd it go?
Dude, he's something's going on. Dude, he's something's going on. Dude, he's something's going on. Dude, he's something's going on.
Uh-oh. Oh, man. I lost it. Ah, there we go. Back to the original. Deputies acknowledged they were looking for shots pickup before they even stopped him.
Yeah, well, it's the one that I was looking for. So it's.
Everything matched or?
Yeah, well, it's the one that I was looking for. So they've been tracking it. But.
Everything matched or?
Yeah, well, it's the one that was.
That's their firewall, paywall, whatever the hell it is. All right, and members of San Antonio, please describe their work. Southwest Texas Fusion Center. Now, let's listen to this one. 7 seconds.
Fusion is a unit that consists of several resources. Fusion is a unit that consists of several resources. Fusion is
Stopped you when I was watching over there. You were drifting over that fog line pretty hard. I just want to make sure everything's okay. Hey, my name is Joel. I'm with the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. The only reason I'm stopping you is when I was watching over there, you were drifting over that fog line pretty hard. I just want to make sure everything's okay. Hey, my name is Joel. I'm with the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. The only reason I'm stopping you is when I was watching over there, you were drifting over that fog line pretty hard. I just want to make sure everything.
How are you doing? Good, how are you doing? Good, how are you doing?
Because it's bad out here. Human smuggling, drug smuggling, and all those things like that. So that's what I'm doing. And the main reason is I sit on the side of the highway and I'm out here looking for, because it's bad out here, human smuggling, drug smuggling, and all those things like that. So that's what I'm doing. And the main reason is I sit on the side of the highway. Any cocaine, any heroin. You have any marijuana in the vehicle? Any cocaine, any heroin, and that's black or brown. Any THC oil, THC wax, vapes, anything of that nature. Okay. Any types of methamphetamine, being crystal or liquid. Any pills that aren't prescribed to you. Any hallucinogens, being THC oil, THC wax, anything like that. Okay. Do you have any large sums of money over $10,000? Okay. Do you have any marijuana in the vehicle? Any cocaine, any heroin, and that's black or brown. Any THC oil, THC wax, vapes, anything of that nature? Okay. Any types of methamphetamine, being crystal or liquid. Any pills that aren't prescribed to you.
You get the picture.
To search your vehicle? Would you allow me to search your vehicle? Would you allow me to search your vehicle? Do behavioral analysis type stuff. And I've been wrong before, but there's just some things I'm seeing that makes me want to go a little further with the investigation, okay? What I do is I talk to people and I do behavioral analysis type stuff. And I've been wrong before, but there's just some things I'm seeing that makes me want to go a little further with you.
He's a behavioral specialist. Oh, yeah. Can't wait to see that.
Have a day where you want to go. People pull over 20 people in a row. for the sole purpose of asking them a series of questions and make up your own questions. Have a day where you go out and go, I'm going to pull over 20 people in a row for the sole purpose of asking them a series of questions and make up your own questions.
Is we have a canine pretty close, so I'm gonna have a canine come out and do a walk around your vehicle. That way it'll go quicker. But just I have some reasons to believe that there might be something in your vehicle. Okay, so what I'll do is we have a canine pretty close, so I'm gonna have a canine come out and do
He sat hard. He wanted to get in there. He sat hard, and I tried walking away. He started whining and barking that he wanted to get in there. So, he wanted to get in there. He sat hard, and I tried walking away. He started whining and barking.
Junk science, folks. That's exactly what that is. Junk science.
He's defeated. Like he said it. Yeah, I'm really hoping. Yeah, so he's defeated. Like he said it. Yeah, I'm really hoping.
Looks like somebody's been in here. But this is what I'm talking about right here. Like, looks like somebody's been in here. But this is what I'm talking about right here. Like, looks like somebody's been in here.
Because 9 times out of 10, this is what happens. I try not to be a jerk about things. Because 9 times out of 10, this is what happens. I try not to be a jerk about things. Because 9 times out of 10, this is what.
There's Eric Dexheimer, investigative reporter. He's a member of the Houston Chronicle's investigative team based in Austin. He covers a wide variety of beats centering around how the state government affects everyday Texans, from criminal justice and education to occupation regulation, affordable housing, and secret power of special districts. His articles have resulted in a number of changes to Texas laws. My kind of man. Well, let's get some removed and not changed. What do you think about that? So there you have it. That's what's going on in 2022, to be almost 4 years ago. So what do you think the technology is now? How many more of these cameras do you think they have? Fusion centers. Have you ever heard of those? There you go. I want to thank him for breaking that, so I'm not taking credit for it. But I haven't heard anybody talk about it on YouTube. So if you're not familiar with what a fusion center is, let me explain to you what a fusion center is. Go get a book called The Underground Empire. It's a big fat ass book. I mean, I've got it upstairs in my room. And I think it's like 1,800 pages. And I believe it's 3 stories, if I remember correctly. It's a pot dealer from the Midwest. A Mexican cocaine kingpin. I can't remember what the other one is. But they created a group called Syntac. And the reason they created Syntac, and it was an unofficial entity, but they created it, and it was the fusion of local, county, state, and federal, sometimes international law enforcement working together as an independent organism from their own employers, whoever they work for. and they started their how you remember the old buy and bust, you buy, you bust them, then you go get the dealer, and then you go get the wholesaler, and then boom, you go get the importer, and then boom, you go get the grower, and then you go get the cartel leader. You just work your way up the chain. That's how the whole underground empire book is structured, with these three different entities doing a biographical historicity from their evolution as like, little nickel and dime bag dealer to taking over an island to grow weed, and had the largest privately held shipping. Yeah, it's a crazy story. So if you ever get a chance, go read it. But that's what the Fusion Center is. But this is happening right now, and I keep telling y'all, okay, AI is coming, NWO is coming. The NWO is what? The Illuminati, the all-seeing eye, the capital I, AI. Get it? So AI is coming. It's going to take over everything. And once all these AIs merge, and they're going to merge, they're going to have access to everything, and they're going to control everything that you do. I mean, how innocent was that? He's going to work for training, dropped off a colleague. What if they had stopped him before he dropped that colleague off, thinking that he's got a victim in his, a trafficked woman? Imagine what that shit show would have looked like. And this is where we're going, folks. These works on patterns and algorithms. That's how AI works. It's tracing you through your digital DNA, through these devices. This is it. This is the system. This is the Antichrist right here. These devices with all these apps and all these subscriptions that we signed into, because almost anyone almost cannot function without a smart device in their life. That's where we've gotten, where we've lowered our standards, our ethics, our morals, our culture, our society, our communities. So I tell you, the kids that get born in 2020, man, if they're not, they don't have some really sharp parents, they're going to be digital. They're not going to get it. It's going to be a whole new world. And the surveillance state is here, folks. It's here now. It's operational. They're going to pull this anytime they want. And that's why I tell everybody, you need to get prepared. It's coming. And when it comes, it's going to overwhelm you. It's going to come by three ways: national security, convenience, or disaster. And people are going to accept it. It's horrific. But I just want to read you that story and that experience. I'm going to see if I can go find the record in Bexar County and see if it's available to peruse and read some really good stuff. Because I'm sure we didn't get the half of it. So I definitely like to go read that and get. So I already know the cops are lying. Hands down. I've been in that situation. Yeah, well, they pulled me over on the side of the road on I-10 or somewhere, and my car was packed. My big four-door BMW sedan, it was packed. These dudes unpacked everything, took everything out of every bag, took the spare tire out. Yeah, I mean, for like an hour and a half, we were like on the side of the road going, really? Told y'all we didn't have nothing. And they just wouldn't stop. So I've been there. And just the appearance that you might be human trafficking. And with facial net recognition, all the cameras, that's where we're at today, folks. So stay tuned. Be careful. God bless everybody. 12 Days of Christmas sale is ongoing. I put up one for, if you don't know anything about trusts, you're brand new to this, and you need to protect yourself, and you need to get as far away from the matrix as possible. That's everything you need. The ebooks for On Trust, which has 7 different trusts in it: revocable, irrevocable, foreign, land, express, charitable remainder, and college trust. That just covers about all the bases that you would require just on a fundamental basis. And then trust accounting book, run your trust like a pro. And then the trust accounting class to get you up to speed on using Excel spreadsheets and where all the numbers go. We have that class, trust accounting class, coming up next month. Everything's available over on the fearlessfloydshow.com website. I have 13 different specials up for the 12 days of Christmas. I just opened them all up. I got tired of posting them every day. So they are all available up till the 24th. If there's a deal in there that you like, go grab it. If there's something that you don't see but tickles your fancy, and you think I got a feather and I can tickle your fancy, well, just reach on out and I'll see what I can do about tickling your fancy, and we'll get you what you needed so you can move on up to the east side, right? Isn't that how it goes? Isn't that what we're all striving for? For those of you who are reaching out and have called or texted or emailed or hit me up over at Telegram and I haven't had a chance to reply to you or respond to you personally, just please bear with me. Like I said, I've been on the phone all day. I had somebody email me and we spoke on the phone, and man, I'm telling you folks, I just lived this so insane divine life. That's the only thing I can tell you. Because if I tried to make this stuff happen, it just wouldn't happen. A very interesting person with a completely different mindset. So she wants to come on the show. She's never been on a show before. She's never done a presentation per se. So I'm going to bring her on. I want to make sure she's prepared and, has everything. We were having a horrible connection just talking on the phone. For some reason, there was like, I don't even know if it was a 2-second delay, but there was a delay. I would say something and we would talk over each other, and then we'd both pause. And I'd say something, and then like 2 seconds later, I could tell she heard it, and then she would reply. It was so weird. And then we're having bad disconnections and having to call each other back. And we still had problems the whole connection. So looking at everything that she sent me, and believe me, I didn't even have time to look at all of it, vet it, digest it, information overload for sure. It's more to my plate. Like I said, if you want something buried, just send it to me in a 1 gig file and or a 6-hour video, and it'll just sit there wherever it came. But anyway, I'll try to get back to you as quickly as possible. You guys call me. If I don't call you back, I forget to call you back. I just get overloaded. I've got a guy that I met at Sky Pony Gallery, and his email just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And I just I need to go get it after the show and call him. So I told him I was going to call him. You can tell my voice is almost gone. So this is where we're getting. We're at these license plate readers going to be hooked up to AI, and AI is going to be running everything in government. Who's on the road. It's going to be a different world, a completely different world from what you realize, where we all may be on universal basic income, own nothing, and I guess be happy. I don't know. I think I'd rather go live off nature, but that's just me, in my opinion. All right, there you go. I hope you guys jumped on the silver bandwagon a couple months ago when I did my video. If you don't know, the dollar's hyperinflating right in front of your eyes. When silver hits $100 an ounce, that means all the value of the dollar is gone. We're up to $100 equals an old dollar. I just don't know what else to tell you, folks, to get you prepared for what's coming, because most people don't know. And they're going to like it. And it is what it is. People want to be governed. I know. Even the ones that think they want to self-govern want to be governed. Absolutely. It's crazy. I just don't understand the world. Really weird, but it is what it is. Thank you, everybody, for spending your time, money, and energy over here. I hope you learned something. I hope you've been made a little bit more aware of the capabilities of your government. Okay? And we all know how everything goes sideways real quick. They want to bury you. They want to scare you. They want to terrify you. They want to coerce you, put you under duress. And this is what I tell folks that, God bless them, man. They're doing a tough job. I get that. On law enforcement on the front lines, we have to have some type of law enforcement. I get that. But it's the training and then what they're allowed to get away with. Because I think anybody that holds a government office or higher position should be held to a higher standard than the everyday civilians, because they have a greater responsibility, not only to the office, to the government, but to all the people, because they work for the people. They've taken an oath, and when they violate it, they should be held to a higher standard. Don't take the oath, right? Then when you're on the other side of the fence, you might go like, well, maybe there are too many laws. We probably should get rid of like hundreds of thousands of them and just go back to the old standard 10. Remember those two things? Yeah, those two rocks. That seemed to work for quite a while, right? You're going to love this guest I have coming up. So, and I've got other people reaching out that want to come on the show. And still got people asking me, but you need to get Mike Adams on the show. Get Mike Adams. Why don't you interview with Mike Adams? So, maybe. We'll see how it goes. I had Juan, my buddy, independent filmmaker. He was here till 2 last night. And we were hatching out a master game plan for 2026. So, yeah, going to Cancun in February, shoot a movie. And, that's February, March. So that's the end of the rodeo. Okay. And then we're going to try to do some stuff with the Astros this year. So I've got a lot on my plate. As always. But I am making progress. I just shredded literally a stack of paperwork like this that was no longer needed, unwanted, or another one of those processes that somebody came up with, and I went and did it to make sure that it worked or didn't work. And of course it didn't work. So it's now in the bowels of it's going to be in the bowels of a landfill. So, I don't know. Oh, I did hear back from Birthright movie director and producer. So we've been kind of going back and forth a little bit. I told her, I said, hey, you should call me. We should have a conversation. I'm sure it'd be an interesting conversation. She's more on the process of the whole birthright, not so much the process, about what we were supposed to be promised and has not been. And, the people that I haven't seen the movie, so really can't comment that much more on it. All I know is, first name I heard David Straight. So anything associated with David Straight, in my book, is a no-go. I don't care what the hell it is. Anything associated with David Les Straight, no-go. Just because I know what he did to Bonnie. And then Todd Allen Duell, and he pops up, and he's just like this just wonder kid, wonder kind, right? And as far as I know, he has not rebutted my claims, my findings, my facts. A lot going on there. But I did find a bunch of interesting paperwork today, and I need to scan it. So that's what I'm doing, is getting everything over, putting everything in digital, so getting rid of all this paper. I got paper. Got to get rid of it. And I don't have anything in front of me. I will be doing my year-end review of all the gurus. Stay tuned for that. I will schedule that, so you will, if you hit that notification bell, you will be made aware when I do put it out. I'm going to cover a lot of ground. It will definitely go on 2 hours, just because there's so much to talk about. It's amazing. The tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people that are just lost. They're in their little brainwashed cult, just going in this circle, this vicious circle, going nowhere, because there's nowhere to go. But you got this one guy in the middle who's yelling, "Go, go, go," and everybody's going. And some of them even are so cold, man. If you don't do it and it doesn't work, you're worthless. You shouldn't even be here. I mean, yeah, I've been abusive too to my audience, but for my audience, it's the truth. Believe me, the truth hurts too. I invested in a bunch of foreign currency. You don't think I want, the Iraqi dinar to revalue at $3.28 yesterday? Of course I do. But I have to look at what reality tells me. Reality tells me that they're not even close. Which sucks because, I believe the hype. Same thing with all those currencies. And then I started doing my own research into all the narrative within that whole community and found out that's a lie. That's unprovable. So it's a fantasy. Somebody made this shit up somewhere down the line, and somebody else, oh, that sounds great. Boom, and shared it. And it just mastatized. And now it's legend, it's fact, it's all that. And I just search for the truth. And sometimes, it affects me. Other times it affects other people. And I pop those hopium bubbles. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Some people don't even want to believe it when they see the facts right in front of their face. They hear it. They still want to. No, we're not leaving. No. It's astonishing what they do. So anyway, I've got to roll. Got a little gig tomorrow picked up. So I'm gonna go hang out with some of my old school stagehands way back in the 80s that I don't get to see very often because they get all the cream of the crop gigs. That's what happens when you still want to go out and be a stupid, idiot, moronic dumbass. And they just hung out and stayed being a stagehand, and now ended their career. They're just retired. And I get to play around with their kids. And they can't because they're all physically infirm. They can load trucks, but yeah, most of them. Anyway, yeah. I'm going to do Carmen. I know Carmen's busy. She's actually at a gig at a church tonight. So she was sick, and I'm letting her kind of get her breath back, and I will reach out to her over the weekend, and we'll get something scheduled for next week before Christmas, hopefully. And I'll probably do my year-end review. Who knows? End of the month. If you're in the Houston area and you'd like to go to a badass New Year's Eve party, hit me up. My buddy parties like a rock star. I haven't got confirmation yet. He was supposed to do Halloween and had a death in the family. That was canceled, which I was really looking forward to that. But he said he's going to blow out for New Year's. So there will be plenty of fireworks. I'm probably sure there'll be 3 live bands. Open bar, catered, the whole 9 yards. All right. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. Again, y'all have a good night. 12 Days of Christmas Sale, The Fearless Floyd Show at yahoo.com. If you want to reach me, The Fearless Floyd Show at yahoo.com. Somebody sent me a message. Okay. All right. If I don't see you guys before Christmas, happy holidays. God bless everybody. Be safe. Have fun. See you next time.